This is the Reds POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the Cincinnati Reds. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Good evening, Reds fans, and welcome to another installment of the Reds POSTCAST, brought to you by Locked On Reds and the Locked On Media Network. I'm Tim Daniel. I've been podcasting about the Reds and podcasts for 5 years now at publications such as Late Night Reds and The Riverfront. Thank you all for hanging out with me tonight on a Friday night as we discuss, I don't know, what do you want to call that game? A nightmare, a disaster, embarrassing, implosion, disappointing. Yeah, all the above. We'll get into it. Of course, if you're checking me out for the first time, please be sure to give us a subscription. Normally, it's a lot happier than this. I don't know. Maybe I'm lying there. If you want to go ahead also and hit that notification button so you get my friends, Jeff Carr and Steven Offenbaker on Locked On Reds Monday through Friday. Today's episode is brought to you by our friends at FanDuel. If your first $5 bet wins, you get $200 in bonus bets. Go to FanDuel.com to learn more. On tonight's show, the bullpen implodes. And that's putting it nicely. Bullpen gave 11 runs tonight. We're going to talk about that. Hunter Greene's return to the mound wasn't great, wasn't terrible, but we're going to go through it and kind of discuss that as well. And if we had to say something nice, it's that Spencer Steer has stayed hot. And I'm going to talk to you guys. I'm going to hear what you have to say. We're going to talk about your comments as well. Let's treat this as therapy, guys. Let's all get through this together, shall we?
This is what you'll be talking about.
What was that? That was, I shouldn't be surprised, right? But at this point, I don't know what to expect anymore. This is so incredibly frustrating. This is a Reds team who started out the game up 4-0. They're up 4-0. First inning, get right to it. 3 big runs. Things look like it's going to be pretty good, right? Third inning, Cubs have a horrible play. Austin Hayes scores on a pass ball or wild pitch. I think is what it's called actually. You're thinking, okay, cool. Hunter Greene goes out there, gets up a 2-run homer. You're like, okay, that happens. No biggie. Life happens, you can get about it. Hunter Greene doesn't get to the 5th inning. Okay, first start back, you can understand that. 5th inning, they score 2 more runs. You're thinking, all right, 6-2. This should be comfortable, right? This should be good. Scott Barlow looks good. Ian Gibaut comes to town, guys. Ian Gibaut comes to town. Ian Gibaut now has been the spearhead of 2 of the Reds' biggest implosions this season, opening day and tonight. Ian Gibaut has pitched pretty decent at stretches this year. Today was not stretches. Ian Gibaut today goes, let me pull the math up real quick for everyone. 1/3 of an inning. 1/3 of an inning. 3 earned runs, 2 hits. Rocking an ERA of 7.1. Now, pitcher ERAs are fickle. I get it. 7.1 is not fickle. 7.1 is bad. It's really bad. And, okay, you're like, whatever. Wasn't his day. Tony Santillan. He's been reliable this year. Nope. Tony Santillan can't even get an out. Crow-Armstrong comes up, hits the 2nd homer of the game. Off the foul pole, grand slam. Cool. Love it. Brent Suter. Been good all year, right? Not tonight. Luis May. Been fun. A lot to look forward to about him. Big learning curve tonight when he went against Dansby Swanson. This is, it's hard for me to come here and talk bad about the bullpen because they have been really good all year. But this is bad. This is really bad. This isn't fun. It's not. Like, I love doing the postcast. I love coming here and hanging out with you guys after every game. I love chatting with you guys. But when they play like this and I got to come here and you guys are mad and I'm disappointed and we're just kind of all just like complaining because the team is letting us down for us as fans, it's hard. And tonight was really hard. Tonight was so irritating because they now have had 2 games this year where they've had a four runs or more lead that they've blown. This one and the last game at San Francisco. They're now 0-22. I said it the other day against Pittsburgh in the last Pittsburgh game. They're now 0-22 when they trail after the 7th in the season. That's not even counting the fact that they won. I mean, that they were winning in this game pretty big at multiple points in the game. And look, hats off to the Cubs. They're awesome. They can score runs in bunches. They're phenomenal. I mean, their offense is unreal. But, and you saw it tonight. But at the same point, this is frustrating. And Greg, you're right. I'm putting more on Gibaut than I probably should. If Matt McClain makes that tag at second base, or he throws the first and just takes the out, who knows? Maybe it doesn't unravel the way it did. It probably still does. It probably is more on Tony Santillan than it is on Ian Gibaut. I think that's fair. But that doesn't mean that Ian Gibaut was good and has been good. I mean, Francona seems to have this love fest with him. He's like, well, he throws strikes, and this is like 1.58 whip at this point as a reliever. 1.58. He's thrown not even 13 innings. He's got 11 strikeouts. And whatever, there's some guys who specialize in ground balls. I don't know what Gibaut does for this team. Like, what does Ian Gibaut do that Lyon Richardson can't for this team? Lyon Richardson isn't great, but Lyon Richardson, at least I think, has looked pretty solid. He got outs. And again, he didn't go against the Cubs. I understand that. That's completely fair. The Cubs are, like I said, pretty awesome. But the Gibaut-Santillan combo tonight couldn't go through. It's hard to be mad at Brent Suter because he's done so much for this team this year, but it wasn't his day. And again, it's hard to be mad at Luis May because he's a guy who, is still kind of learning how to pitch in the big leagues. But, Scott Barlow was good tonight. Yeah, Tom says right here, when you're up 6-2, you can't lose that. Pitching was the reason today. Only bad pitching gives up 6 runs in an inning. Yes, they could have scored runs, but 6 should be enough. I agree. And to be fair, the offense was good tonight. You look at the box score, 13 hits, 6 runs. You're like, solid. You should win that game. They left some runs on the base path again. First inning, big rally, 3-0, up big, looking good. Bases loaded, no outs. 3-0 lead. Can't break anybody in. I mean, Austin Hayes and Spencer Steer did their job tonight. We'll talk about Spencer Steer later in the show. But the fact that they just, like John says right here, and I kind of agree with it, the fact that they just don't play add-on or they can't play add-on, that's just not a thing for them, is so frustrating. And, I mean, Matthew Boyd was awful for the Cubs tonight. And they still let him get 4 innings in. He was terrible. First 6 guys reached. That alone right there should be how you win the baseball game. And they just can't do it. They can't figure it out. But, whatever. Hunter Greene came back tonight. Wasn't great, wasn't terrible, but I think that there was more good than bad from this. And I'm going to go ahead and we're going to get to it right after this. If I can find there it is. The WNBA is in full effect, and FanDuel has got you ready to watch a performance like any other every single night. Caitlin Clark is the pick each and every night. If you're watching and you're an Indiana Fever fan like me, man, is she a joy to watch. And right now, FanDuel can help you make money, whether it's on a parlay, in-game, or live. She's the person to look at, and the Indiana Fever as well. For me, right now, my $5 bet that I'm hoping to get this $200 in bonus bets, I'm looking at the Indiana Fever as WNBA champions right now at plus 340, the second best odds of anyone in the league. I feel like that's easy money if you watch the Favors performance so far this week. FanDuel is the place to be. Are you new to FanDuel? It's the perfect time to sign up. Head to FanDuel and place your first $5 bet. If your bet wins, you get $200 in bonus bets. Make every moment more with FanDuel, the official betting partner of the NBA. Want to give a shout out to all of our everydayers here on Locked On and the Reds Postcast for hanging out with us, whether good or bad like it is tonight. We definitely appreciate you guys. Of course, as always, Monday through Friday, check out Jeff Carr and Stephen Offenbaker on Locked On Reds on this very feed, whether it's on YouTube or your podcast app of choice. We are here for you. And here, I'm your guy. I'm your, let's talk it out. Let's feel this pain together guy. Let's talk about when this game got out of hand.
Time to reveal where the game was It's the turning point.
It was the Pete Crow-Armstrong Grand Slam, right? I mean, what else would it be? He's pretty awesome. Probably the second best, probably the National League MVP right now. And, you can't get that guy out right now, apparently. And it's pretty annoying, but I digress. Hunter Greene came back tonight, guys. And while Hunter Greene wasn't Hunter Greene per se, I don't know, he looked really good to start the game. Seems like he ran out of gas pretty quick, and it's understandable. First start in a couple weeks. Just goes 4 innings. Has a really heavy pitching inning there in the fourth where he throws a lot of pitches. And Tito went ahead and said, look, dude, just not your night. And that's going to happen. But when he left, they were still winning, by the way. Just to make sure I make mention of that. But big picture, Dottie had some nice moments. Dottie looked pretty good. Just, Pete Crow-Armstrong hit a homer off him too. Pete Crow-Armstrong hits homers off a lot of people these days. But I think that with him, this was just a night where it was probably just good to get some pitches under it again, be on the hill again. And I thought, if he cuts those pitches in half, who knows? Maybe we're not having this conversation right now. Maybe we're having a different conversation about a different game. Maybe Hunter goes 6 1/3, or maybe Hunter gets into the 7th. And we have a whole other day. But I'm not going to blame him for this. Yeah, he wasn't great. I don't think it's his fault. Like I said, first time in a couple weeks. And just kind of fell off at the end there. I mean, I thought the first 2 innings, he looked awesome. Looked really good. 3rd inning, so-so. 4th inning, it got to him. Do I think he's going to look significantly better when he pitches this next outing? Yeah, probably. I think it's against the same team, too, at Wrigley next weekend, if I have my numbers correctly, which I think I do. And this is just kind of part of the process for him, I guess. Still love Hunter. I still think Hunter's the right guy to be the ace of the team. I think if I'm buying a jersey for any Cincinnati Red right now, it probably is Hunter Greene, right? Hunter Greene or Austin Hayes. But at least know Hunter Greene's going to be here longer than through 2025. And I thought Scott Barlow backed him up really well too. We haven't talked a whole lot about Scott Barlow being good this season. He was solid tonight, ending in a third, 3 strikeouts. But the Cubs are the Cubs. They're awesome. They score a lot of runs so fast for a reason. And it is what it is, as irritating and frustrating as it is. D-Rocks is right here. I'm so done with the Reds. I can't talk you out of that. I have no argument for that right now. I don't blame anybody for being irritated or frustrated or disappointed or throwing their hands up. Dave's here every night with me. Dave Magrum. Love Dave. One of my favorite people to talk baseball with. Says it right here. My heart's just not into it tonight. I love the Reds, but man, I love my kids too. And those turds really piss me off from time to time. I don't know if I'm really supposed to say piss off, but I should know. Nick, I said the same thing earlier in the show. Why Ian Gibaut? Why is Richardson down for him? Josh, I'm glad you get to enjoy the Pacers tonight. Good for you. So whatever. But hey, who was good tonight? Spencer Steer. Let's give him the Locked On Player of the Game today, shall we?
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
I don't know if you guys know this or not, but Spencer Steer had 3 hits tonight. Spencer Steer has looked pretty solid at the plate now for a bit. Got a nice long hit streak going. His last 7 games, he's got an 858 OPS. His last 15 games, he's got a slash line of 291, 328, 436. We're getting that on base percentage back up. Looks like he's kind of coming back around. It's hard to get going when you really start swinging the bat the last week of spring training. And obviously we saw how he started the opening day. That's why I'm not worried about Tyler Stevenson. I see this. I get that question daily. Are you worried about Tyler Stevenson? No. I thought the last Pittsburgh game, and I thought tonight, I thought Stevenson sung the bat pretty well. Thought he had really good at-bats. I mean, he worked, 22 pitches alone from the Cubs starter? And then, and Austin Hayes has always been Austin Hayes. And, Ellie, I don't know. I heard what Jeff and Steve said the other day. I 100% completely agree with them. He's supposed to be the guy that has the train going, and he's certainly not doing that. Now, I see a lot of people are giving up on him, which he's 23. I think that's ridiculous to give up on his talent. But I can agree that he's not playing the way he should. And, Nick, I thought Matt McLain looked decent at the plate tonight. Made contact in all 4 at-bats. Had a really nice hit in the game and then didn't get to score. But today wasn't their day, and it's their fault. It's 100% their fault. I know the Cubs are awesome. I know the Cubs can score a lot of runs quickly. Tonight wasn't the Cubs. I mean, the Reds let the Cubs take advantage of this game. The Reds let the Cubs beat them in this game. You have a 4-run lead like that, you shouldn't lose. Absolutely not. But we have tomorrow. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but we have tomorrow. And today, the Cincinnati Reds are losers for the 3rd game in a row, this time to the Chicago Cubs, by all 3 division games. Not a good sign. 13-6. The Cubs have 13 runs on 13 hits and 2 errors. The Reds 6 runs on 13 hits, no errors. Your winning pitcher tonight, Chris Flexen, his 10th win of his 2nd win of the year. He's now 2-0. Your loser, Tony Santillan, his first loss of the season. He is now 0-1. Reds are back at it tomorrow at 4:10 at Great American Ballpark as Andrew Abbott takes the hill for the Reds. He's currently 3-0 with a 1.8 ERA. He'll be going against Colin Ray of the Cubs, who's also 3-0 with a 2.38. Like I said, that first pitch is at 4:10. So barring any crazy extras or anything that, shoot for me being here about 7 or so. We'll see how it goes. Everyone, thank you for hanging out with me tonight. I know it wasn't the most fun night to be a Reds fan, and it has been a fun week to be a Reds fan, but, it's not like they're playing all winning teams now for a while. Oh, they are. They are. I'm Tim Daniel. Everyone have a good night, and I'll see y'all every day or tomorrow.